Hello, artists. I wanted to go over your odds and ends assignment that is due today. You should have found this in your Module 1. So this is an example of your sheet, and this should be done on 12-inch by 18-inch white drawing paper. If you have not picked up your art supplies yet from the main office, you need to do that as soon as possible. That is required of this course, and there are specific things you need in that art supply bag to complete your assignments this semester. So I am going to scroll down to the second page and show you the rubric and just explain it. And if you have any questions, feel free to message me through Canvas, or I can set up a WebEx with you. The odds and ends rubric. The standard for DC Everest is in this left column here. So we have two standards under the category of create. One is plan and one is make. The learning objectives are listed in the next column. So the first one is I can plan my composition by dividing my 12-inch by 18-inch paper into 12 squares. Each drawing depicts the object from a different viewpoint or angle. So if I go back up to this sheet, this example here is a rotary phone, the old-fashioned kind of phones, and every single square looks different. This person zoomed in and zoomed out of different areas on the object. The next part is each drawing is a realistic representation of my object. So the goal is to carefully observe your object and draw it as close to realism as possible. Our second standard under make, we have two learning objectives here. First one is I can draw successfully a realistic three-dimensional object on a two-dimensional surface. So what that means, a three-dimensional object has height, width, and depth. So that would, for an example, that would be like a cube. A 2D object would be a square, for example. So we want to make sure, and you can kind of check over your drawings today that you did this, that each object has height, width, and depth. And when I say on a 2D surface, I'm just referring to your 12 by 18-inch drawing paper. So you went through some of these different shading techniques in the videos prior to this assignment. So you should be using those shading techniques to emphasize the texture of your object in each square, and that each square that you do the shading on your objects, but also the background. So you can see that in each of these squares, there's barely any white space at all. There are different parts that are all shaded. Okay, back to the next part. The second objective here is I can develop a wide range of values in my composition from white to black. So the white should be the highlights on your object. Then you will have different values of gray using your drawing pencils. And then see if you can get all the way to some black values. So it says I can apply two or more shading techniques, and I listed them there. I can create different values through spacing and pressure. So what I mean by spacing, if you were doing hatching lines to shade something, if I spread out those lines, it'll look like a lighter value. If I place them closer together, it will look like a darker value. And the other thing with pressure is really basically how hard you're pressing on your paper with your pencil. The last part, and you work through this in the previous assignment with your apple drawing, is I can understand how the light source creates shadows. So that is the shadows on your object. If we look at this one right here, the form shadows make this telephone look three-dimensional, and then there's a highlight here, and it also has cast shadows, or the shadow made by the object. So since this was zoomed out, you see the shadow on the table underneath the phone. So hope this makes sense. I'm hoping that everyone, if you haven't yet, to pick up your art supplies. You definitely have to be using drawing pencils on this. Let me know if you have questions. Have a great weekend and stay warm. Bye.